we are going to be counting Chesed Shebagvura, the love that comes in the power of severity. The way to term it or to title it is to say no, but from love. And that's something that is hard to us to necessarily relate to, but Bezrat Hashem will explain it now very quickly. Our sages explain that the right side, the Yad Yamin Mekarevet, it pulls you towards you, and small Ducha, left, is the one that pushes away. Meaning that the right side, which is Chesed, like I told you before, love, that has the power to bring it closer. Left, which is Gvura, has the power to push away. Okay? Now, how to relate with it is that you can't say yes to everything. If you say yes to everything, at some point you suffer, and also the person you say yes to will suffer. Has to be sometimes that you say yes, sometimes you say no. Has to be a good medium. Chesed will be the one that will say yes, Gvura will be the one that says no. So the power of Gvura is the power to negate or to deny, to say no. And the no doesn't mean that it's negative, by the way. If you have a box of chocolates in front of you, you have one piece, you have another piece. If you had already 22 pieces, that's not good. After the third piece has to be Gvura, has to be no, I had already. The other day we had a chocolate bar on the table. So of course the kids, they come like ants. You know, they like anteaters, they just inhale it, they don't even chew it. So after 3 pieces, one of the kids the hand was already with the claw, and I was like, no, enough, you had already enough. So is that mean or bad? No, you had enough. 2 pieces, 3 pieces enough, you don't have to have the whole box. So Gvura is the power to cut, or the right way, the right word, in Hebrew it's called lishlol. Lishlol means to take away. In English, I think 2 words that are appropriate, one will be negate, one will be to deny. But it's to say no for what's not good for you. If it's good for you, that's a whole different thing. But if I know that something is not good for you, and I tell you no, then it's a very positive thing. It's not a negative thing. Now, why is it a positive thing? Not only because it's not good to you, because it will do better for you. This is what's called in Hebrew, le'ativ imach. If I now stop you from doing something that is not good for you, that not only that I'm stopping you from doing something that is bad for you, it will after benefit you. Right? So the Gvura here is not something negative, rather something positive, to stop you from doing something that is bad for you, but ultimately something that it will be good for you and will benefit you. So after a week that we went through the entire week of love, of Chesed, now we're taking a whole 180 detour, and we're going to a week of Gvura, of severity, of din, of judgment. Now we're starting with Chesed Shebagvura. Chesed, it means love. But this is the love that will motivate me to stop something that is not so good. Sometimes it's hard to say no. You love somebody, you love the kid, you love your wife, or whatever it is. You want to be large and generous, and well, of course. But nevertheless, sometimes we have in a Shabbat people, we love our guests, and we want to spoil our guests. So we put a lot of wine on the table. But if I'm not going to say no at some point, then I'm going to be dragging people out of here like a bar. So am I doing something bad to them? No, I'm doing them a favor. Have 1 cup, have 2 cups. That's it. Yalla, take the wine back to the wine cabinet. You don't have to have 2.5 bottles. Because then you're going to be crawling out of here. Not only you're going to get a hangover, you're going to embarrass yourself, but tomorrow you're not going to show up to the prayer because you're going to be a lush. So I'm taking something away from you that ultimately is good for you and it will actually benefit to you. So Chesed Shebagvura is the motive, so to say, what is the engine that will allow me to do such a thing. Because sometimes it's very easy to let go and to do whatever you want. Now, I'm giving an example with me and my kids or me and another person. You know, the ultimate Chesed Shebagvura is with me and myself. very easy to come and say, I have kids, I need to educate them. It's not good to eat too much chocolate. It's not good to be too much in front of the computer. That's between me and another person. But we want to take it to the next level. How about me and myself? When there's nobody around me, I can eat that whole box of cookies. Where's the restriction? Has to be some chesed shebagvura to say, I had to. This is not good for me. It's not healthy for me. I'll gain weight. I'll have a stomach ache. I'll ruin my teeth. Whatever it is. So again, chesed shebagvura is the power of love that motivates me to say no. Now, if you know how to nourish this midah, you'll be able to control all your urges and you'll be able to control all the things that you desire. Because you know when to cut, when to say, no, I had enough. I don't need another one. I'll wait another day. So this is a very powerful mitzvah, a very powerful sfirah that we want to not only to refine it, to nourish it. Because most people, that's the reality. I'm not trying to make fun of anybody. Most people, they don't know how to say no to themselves. They don't know how to control their desire. And it can be something small like food, or something like that you're on Facebook for 3.5 hours, and you already saw all the same posts, you saw all the videos, you saw the same thing, and you're still there. And you still, very few people know to say, enough, that's it. I read the news, I saw the cats dancing, I saw everything, now it's time to go. So chesed shebegvura is something that we want to refine within us, because if not, I become my slave to my own desires. Now, the way to look at it, that if I really love somebody or something, I need to know when to say no. I need to know when the line has to be drawn. Everything. So even if it's with you and yourself, because, just the other day we were eating something, I don't remember what it was, it's not so important, but my son told me, when you eat too much of it, it already becomes not tasty. And I was like, look at that. This is an observation of a 7-year-old. You have the first one, the second one, I don't remember what it was, it's tasty. You already stuff your mouth with it, and he told me, after you have a lot of it, it's not tasty anymore. And I was like, that's because you already passed the gvul hata'am hatov, the limit of good taste. So when I love something, I need to know that sometimes it's very right and good to say no. I need to know when to do that. And it's usually for the benefit for the person that you say no. And again, it can be between you and another person that you say no, or for yourself. I need to know when to say no to myself, and it's only for the benefit for the one that you said no, even though the no is yourself. And this is exactly the chesed shebagvura, that you know how to deny, to stop, to restrict, but it's coming only from love. It's not coming because you want to punish somebody or to control somebody. And the gvura here, the severity, is a result of love. So the restriction, the denying, the negating is only a reaction of love. Now, another way of looking at it, in Hebrew it's called hatzavat gvulot, that I put myself boundaries and restrictions. If you don't put in your life to yourself boundaries, life becomes a chaos. That's why we see governments, there are laws, there's the rules, there are courthouses. In cities, in municipalities, in the home, my home, there's rules. I always tell my kids, there's rules in the home. You want to break the rules, go somewhere else. You can't break the rules. There's no rules. No rules, there'll be chaos. So, gvura shebechesed is also to know when to put boundaries and when to put restrictions. And this is not restricting the love, by the way. It's actually giving more love. This is the abundance of love. If I give with no restrictions, then the love just comes like a waterfall, like a dam opening, and the water just destroys. It doesn't benefit anything. So the ultimate shefa, the ultimate abundance of love is when I know how to put a boundary and a border. How does that do it? Because the boundary that I put, it creates a vessel to hold the light of the shefa, of the abundance that I get. If I don't have a kli to hold the shefa, what good is it? If I have now something that is producing energy, or the Kabbalistic term to it is shefa. Shefa is an abundance. I need a vessel. So the boundaries that I do is the kli, the vessel to receive the shefa. If we look at it Kabbalistically, saying, in the beginning the Kadosh Baruch Hu shined his ultimate light, Or Ein Sof, and it reached anywhere and everywhere, infinite. But nothing was holding it. So what benefit did the creations had from it? They didn't. So Hashem said, I will create a world that will be created with borders and restrictions, and that's how you can contain the light. Now you have benefit of it. So I know in our world, people like collecting things. Some people collect whatever, marbles or whatever it is. But the ultimate love for what you want to collect is not to collect it. A lot of people, they buy beautiful animals, exotic animals, beautiful fish, beautiful parrots. You know that we wanted to do out here in the porch a huge cage and to bring beautiful birds. To hear the whistling, to see the beautiful birds. And then I was like, that's actually not nice. But because I want to hear a bird whistling and to see a beautiful bird, I have to now close a bird in a cage, even though the cage would be the size of an entire room. That's not nice. That's not the right thing to do. So we decided not to do it. But nevertheless, what's the idea? Is that when I want to benefit from something, it needs to be contained. But here in this world, we're doing it the wrong way. The way the Kadosh Baruch Hu created the system to contain the light is that there's some type of a vessel that I can contain it. If not, I see it, but I don't benefit from it. So when I want to feel the abundance of love, has to be a kli, a vessel to receive, not only to receive it, to hold it. These are the boundaries and the borders that I put in my life. Now, not only that, in any type of love relationship, and again, the love relationship can be between me and my wife and can be between me and the cookie. Any type of love relationship here, the power of Gvura will actually sharpen the power of love. So the more restrictions you put in any type of love relationship, it will make the love deeper, sharper, and greater. That's how it works. And this is called Ahavat Emet, love of truth. It's true love. When there's true love, there is borders and restrictions. There's rules and regulations. I know it sounds mechanical, but we're talking here just in terms. Now, to say practically, each and every one of us, I told you before, has a surrounding around me where I am a mashpia. Before I called it a kingdom or a little country. But every person has a group of people around them that he is the one who is the giver. And it can be the father, he's the giver to the family. It can be a boss, can be a person in a group of people. But nevertheless, like I told you, it can be a parent, it can be an educator, and so forth. Now, you have to analyze a situation in this relationship and ask yourself, do I always want to say yes here? So, this relationship with the husband and wife, I understand, you don't always want to say yes to the husband or the wife. With a parent and a child, you don't always want to say yes to the child. I say a lot more no to my children than yes, but it's their benefit. But even as an educator, sometimes somebody comes and says, I want to learn 10 hours a day. No, learn 1 hour a day. 10 hours will not benefit. Just the other day, somebody who's learning here told me, I want to learn all day long. I said, learn maybe 2 hours a day. That's it. 2 hours a day, you reach the max. You're not going to get anything. It's not going to benefit you. Just stick with the 2 hours. So even as an educator, you need to know when to say, no, this is not the time. Or, how many times we were sitting here and people were question after question after question. Listen, you're distracting the class. It's disturbing. Stop the questions right now. It's not benefiting you because, why? Because you're confusing me. So I'm not going to be able to give you over what I want to deliver. Write your question down. I will answer the question at the end. So again, I'm just trying to paint the ideas how and what situations you want to pull the no out. So any person, practically saying, to the homework that we want to apply, you need to find out in your surrounding when you pull out the no card. But when it's going to be done in a benefit, not coming from anger, or not coming from frustration. When is it coming from a place of benefit? And do I want to say yes in this situation, or do I want to say no in this situation? And this will allow me to start differentiating when is the right time that I have to say no. And that's how I'm able to build a much healthier relationship between me and my wife, me and my kids, me and my students, me and my coworkers, and so forth, is the time of their life. Some people, they just don't know how to say no. And then, chas v'shalom, they get taken advantage, or they misuse, and so forth. So again, practically saying, find a relationship in your life that you feel that you're constantly saying yes, 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 and saying, okay, where do I pull out the no in this relationship? But not because I feel frustrated, because it's the right time to say right now, no, we had enough. No, it has to finish right now. And it's healthy for both sides, and will benefit the person you say no. Take it to the next level. Even if you can't find somebody in your life that you need to pull that no card, then you turn the homework on yourself. When do you say no to yourself? And you'll find a time of the day that you're letting yourself go too much, where you have to say, no, I slept already 12 hours. I need to get out of bed. No, I had already 4 cookies. That's enough. I don't have to have another cookie. So the pulling out the no card is not only with somebody in your life, it's also for yourself. And needless to say, when you know how to not only apply it, but to really bring this midah to the surface, you are able to fight most of your desires and your inclinations, and you are able to become a much more self-controlled individual, which, needless to say, makes you a much more happy and successful and healthy individual. I can tell you that 18 years ago, before I was observant, there was no borders in my life in anything that you would think of. There was never borders. Anything that I did was with no borders, till you drop. And then I became observant. 3 years into my observance life was not to put a yarmulke on and to go to yeshiva. Only 3 years after I became observant, I went to yeshiva. In the first 2 years was just to refine my midot. And one of the first things that I was working on that took the most effort is how to, no, stop. This is where you stop. So just as a start, I had to quit all these things that were bad for me. Drinking, smoking, all these things that was no restrictions. I would smoke on an average day 3 packs of cigarettes. Marlboro Red, like this. Every 2 minutes, a cigarette in my mouth. Why? No restrictions. There was no boundaries. Now I knew that with my personality, it can't go from 3 packs of cigarettes to 2 packs. It has to cut. No more. So, but why am I telling you this? Because I was, so to say, working on the muscle of chesed shebagvura. Chesed shebagvura. Stop right now, it's good for you. Stop right now from eating, drinking, smoking, whatever it is, because it's good for you. It wasn't an easy thing to do. I would make myself all these tricks. How am I controlling these little urges? And then, of course, it came with mitzvot, because one of the first things that I wanted to do is to observe Shabbat. How do you observe Shabbat? You want to jump out of your own skin when the first 2 years when you're observing Shabbat. So I would observe Shabbat in increments. I would say from 7 to 11, we're observing Shabbat. So 7 to 11, Shabbat. 11:01, I'm already outside driving. But 7 to 11, no, I was like a machine. So yes, I would desecrate Shabbat after 11. But the 7 to 11, you wait. Till I taught myself to, you wait, patience. You can hold your desire. You can hold your this pull. And this is, again, chesed shebagvura. The love, the power, the motive of love that will put a stop, a restriction. Why? Only because at the end of the day, it will benefit you. It will be good for you, but it will benefit you. So this is a good way of investing. You're saying, now I'm going to suffer, so to say. Later on, I will benefit from it. So again, chesed shebagvura, you want to really not only polish the midah, but also to bring it up to the surface, to be able to pull this power of love to say no.